be an improvement for them keeping 17 players on the pitch, well, 13 players on the pitch. I think the fact that they've kept hold of Ikehihifa, even though there was all the talk about him going, will be really good, because I still rate him so
highly. He's
highly.
going to be inspired to prove his coach wrong, who seems to not maybe rate him with the new interchange rules. So that's something we haven't really talked about yet, and I think Huddersfield is drawing out Ikehifa reminded me that we haven't. So nice point, Sarah.
Yeah, and Akubatai again. I do like a lot of their forwards, to be honest, and then I do think that they've got backs who will score. I mean, Jordan Turner, although I didn't really like him particularly at Hull, he does score points for them.
Fair enough. No, I think that's a nice positive for Huddersfield fans for us to end on. So we'll now move on to your club, Sarah, Hull FC.
Yep.
So, Sarah, let's talk about your team, the Black and Whites, Hull FC. Before I give you the floor, I'm going to start with the fan views, the wider fan views outside of your own, and we'll rotate through these about what the other fans of Hull FC, and we've had a lot of them get in touch this time around, what they expect. So do you want to start with Scott?
Yeah, so Scott Schroeder says top 4, but no real chance for the top spot.
Phil Nadin says in the top 5 and Challenge Cup win.
The old man says a stumbling start while players still come back from injury, followed by a strong run towards the end of the season. No silverware this year.
Excellently realistic from someone in your family, at least. Tom Walker said, mid-table mediocrity. FC seemed like a workman-like team with little X-factor. I discredit the end of the season slump, but we seem to have fallen further behind the top 4, and teams like KR and Huddersfield are catching up. 5th place would represent a good season, in my opinion.
Andy Hockless says top 5.
Sean Turner expects Hull FC to smash it.
Always in our shadow says 3 proper derby wins, put the bin dippers back in their place. Mark Sneed to stuff Fatty Schofield's words down his throat.
That could have been a say what. Rich Langley says, better than last year, assuming the injury curse does not follow us does not follow us, a full or near full strength squad should be able to make an impact on the top 5 discussions.
David Lum says we won't make the 5. I predict 9th and then a riot. I'm expecting a fairly bland season, bit like when Everton had Allardyce and the season gets written off early doors. Too many players out of contract, Raddersby under severe pressure from the media, and 3 of first 4 away won't help. I'm an eternal pessimist there.
Glenn Layton says we'll get to 4th and we'll shut up Schofield.
Brendan Loftus says a struggle. If Hull get a bad start, then the season could go wrong in a hurry. I reckon Hull have gone for a bigger squad, but without much quality in that depth. The lack of any sort of signing of the quality that other teams have made may be our undoing. Our squad is ageing, and this will be the last season for a few in the forwards. Got the fingers really crossed.
Alan Kirk says Hull to finish higher than last year, so that means above 8th where Hull finished last year.
Yep, Mark Warner says improvement from last season and finishing the top 4.
Colin Wooldridge says a win at Wembley and a top 6 finish. After a year of injuries, we will target the cup and try to build on that again, ready for an assault on Super League in 2020.
Bibb says nothing.
He expects nothing. Ben Wilson expects a mid-table finish 6th to 9th.
John McLeod says start the season with a win at Caravan Park against the Dobbins.
Harvey Healy says he expects a top 4 finish and a grand final appearance.
Fletch expects 5th in Super League, semi-final Challenge Cup, a slow start with a good finish to the season. Jake Connor, our main man, forwards will be dominant after a slow start.
The early bird, at early_bird, says massive things. I expect the experts to be choking on their predictions. Well, we're not experts, but maybe I'll be choking on mine too when we get to
that. Barry Webster says a top 4 finish and hopefully a good run in the cup.
Paul Walmsley expects to finish in the top 6.
And Page expects a bit more consistency would be nice. Definitely don't want to be on a losing streak like last season. I'm hoping for a good run. Don't expect to win at any major silverware, but to make the top 6 would be nice.
Okay, so the players that have gone probably aren't many big names, you know, in terms of squad turnover. Jack Downs, Ross Osborne, Jordan Abdul and Jansen Turgid never quite make the grade, any of those anyway. The gains that have come in, Similarly, never quite made the grade. Matty Dawson-Jones, Jordan Thompson, Levi Nzongu, Danny Langtree, Andrew Bullman came and went, didn't he, actually? And Charlie Graham, who hasn't been given a squad number, so don't know how much to expect from him. So, Sarah, obviously you finished 8th last year. Your magical cup run ended with a quarter-final defeat after 2 successive wins. We know that you think they're going to be the cup winner from the prediction show, so we won't talk too much about that. But tell us where you think they're going to finish in the league, who's going to be the star man, and how you're going to get to there.
I think we're going to finish 7th. I don't think we've recruited nearly as well as we should have done. I think the star man. I think if we can keep Mark Sneed fit, that's going to be key. Mark Sneed to partner either with Kelly or Connor, but we can't have Sneed out and the other 2 as half-backs. So I think if Sneed can stay fit, can have a bit of dominance from the pack to give him the platform to lead the players around, that would be good. Out of our gains at St Helens at the weekend, I don't rate Dawson-Jones. He's as out of position as Ferramo is on the wing
in Super League.
So we've got 2 wingers who don't know where to stand. Thompson, well, we got rid of him because he wasn't really great, but now we've got him back. Nzongu, I quite like. He seems like a really nice guy as well. We chatted to him at the service station. Langtree's.
That sounds more dodgy than it should.
This is the insight that we always look forward to, though, because Joshua makes sure that he speaks to every Hull FC player he bumps into in any sort of scenario.
So the fans coach on Sunday pulled in next to the players coach, and we're walking to the service station. Joshua just turns around to this person and goes, "You're Levi, aren't you?" And I'm thinking, I don't know if it is or not. And he's like, "Yeah." So they had a bit of a chat, had a photo.
Probably the first time the poor guy's ever been recognised.
Well, I think it might be. He was really shocked. I think potentially this Fijian winger we've got on loan at the a trialist, Ratu Ngulo or something. I suspect we're going to keep him on, and I think by later on in the season he'll be playing on the opposite wing to Ferramo.
So the rising star comes outside the current squad for you then, in a way?
I think so, yeah. I think also if all the talk in the city is to be believed, then you can add Talanoa to our losses.
It wasn't that linked into the Castleford Ikehefo merry-go-round, though?
No, this is a new one.
New rumour, right, okay.
Where's he off?
Just being sacked, I think.
Oh.
Okay. Well, let's not get ourselves in trouble by going too much into that, because it sounds like it's a little bit a little bit unconfirmed. Right, well, I'm going to be one of them people the Hull FC fans shoot at then, because I'm going to pick Hull FC to finish 10th this season, despite me being a big fan of Jake Connor's on-field skill levels. He's the star man for me, and it's about fitting him in and where they're going to fit him in, really, in reality. Rising star I've got as Cameron Scott, who captained the England Academy side, didn't he, in the off-season, and was quite impressive there, and also had a couple of games last season. I like the look of him. He can only really get better as he might get more game time, I would hope. But like you, Sarah, I'm seriously unimpressed by Hull's recruitment. I don't think they've done enough to address the apparent holes in the squad from last year, really. The front row looks average at best outside of Scott Taylor, and it did last year after Watts went. It's not been addressed. I don't think you've got much try-scoring strike behind the starters in the outside backs, and if Talanoa goes, I think that's even more reduced, because Dawson-Jones ain't got a great strike rate in Super League. And I think, if I'm right, you might be going into the season with some injury concerns in the halves and the pack as well. You ended 2018 in that situation, and we all know how that went.
Kelly's expected to be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, that might help get Connor in the side in where he should be playing, and that might actually benefit you, but it's still a concern. And then when you think Leeds, Catalan, Huddersfield, I think they've all strengthened, and Rovers have had a refresh as well. I'm just not sure Hull match up to the competition. Radford might be under pressure. In my eyes, that's how I see it, and I'm ready to be shot at by the Hull fans. Well. Sorry?
Radford's contract's up at the end of the season as well, so if we get rid of him halfway through, it's not that much to pay him off, is it?
That's an interesting take as well, Sarah. Definitely. Let's Alan and Tim. I sensed you guys come in similar to me. So, Alan, where do you think they'll finish? And just a quick one on maybe who you think might be the key men for them.
Yeah, I've got them 9th. Treading water for me this year. They've got rid of some players, but brought in similar quality players. I don't think they would be coming into the season with this quality squad if we still had a top 8, the middle 8 kind of situation. I think they are happy that the squad that they've got can keep them out of 12th, and I think they're not. They may be saving a bit of cash. Just looking at this squad, it doesn't look
saving for a future rebuild, maybe.
To me, this doesn't look like a squad that they expect to challenge for anything, despite fans' hopes.
Tim, are you similar?
Yeah, I think similar to your point that, and I can't remember who it was made it earlier, that everybody else has kind of gone up a bit, and I think they kind of stagnated to an extent. So I can't see that they're going to jump up too much. I just see them, sort of limping along into 10th. They'll sort of do fairly well, but in a couple of games, but I can't see them doing too much. So I think I'm with Mr. Schofield in that. Obviously, the overall listeners put them in 8th, but yeah, I'm saying 10th.
Yeah, and possibly the Hull fans, because there was a lot of them, have pulled them up out of a different position. So it was close between Wakefield, Huddersfield and Hull FC for who finished in that 7th, 8th, 9th positions, but we will see if it comes to pass, and feel free if they finish in the top 5 to send pelters at us Hull FC fans. Okay, we're going to move on to the rivals now, Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yes, we are. So we're going to move over to the more palatial side of the river and look at the
palaces. I didn't know palaces. Derelict buildings could be palatial.
Hey, it's a redeveloper's dream.
Barren.
It is being quite well gentrified, especially in the city centre though, Hull. So I would say that from my visit there last year, I liked it. I was impressed. But less on the geography and more on the rugby, Tim.
Yeah, so starting off with your fan views on this one. So start off with Carsten, who says the top 8 finish would be nice, but it can be difficult because they miss depth, I think.
Carsten's supporting them because Jimmy Kindhorse has joined, just so people get the context there. Sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
Ian Edwards says improve and move up the table at least 6th or 7th.
Yeah, Tim Andrews says solid mid-table performance if we can keep Dad's Army on the park. Still don't have the quality to make us the top sods in Hull, but we'll get closer.
Sam Smith says finish in the top 8 and have a solid home record.
He's got money on his mind. Tom Andrews says be the dark horses, topple a few big teams, but because it's Rovers there'll be some drama along the way and no doubt some injury crisis. Yeah.
Scott Runke says push for the 5th.
Yeah, so if we look at the transfer, this has gone over a page, which is great. So a large number going through the exit door at New Craven Park. So sort of Ben Kavanagh, Liam Salter, Matty Marsh, all the sort of younger players that didn't quite make the grade being jettisoned there. A few of the older players that didn't make the grade in Chris Clarkson and Justin Carney. Obviously, Chris Clarkson has been finished crying and round various panel shows. And then Andrew Heffernan, unfortunately, he went back. Danny Tickle, another one who, probably 2 years past where he should have been playing. Kieran Moss, Jordan Warren, Brad Clavering, James Donaldson. James Donaldson was the one I've talked about this before, I thought was quite harsh as an exit. Obviously, he's earned himself a deal at Leeds, which is fair play to him. I think he'll do well in the role that I thought he could play for us, really, of coming off the bench and someone who could step up when there was an injury crisis. Todd Carney, was he even here? Morris Blair, he sort of petered out. He's fans' favourite very much, but didn't really notice him.
Can I ask if you think it was a surprise that Morris Blair went without any sort of fanfare after he had become a fan's favourite?
Yeah, I think it was really. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but I thought there'd be some sort of, thanks for the memories and the shit air, something. So there'd be some sort of post on the thing that would be. I don't know if it's just because it was unfortunate in the timing of when it went through the blackout period around Armistice Day. So I don't know if it was around that.
There was a lot of bad feeling about it though, about Donaldson and Blair and the way that they left.